Dysfunctional vet. This is the plug-in for the control panel, the tach, fuel, turn signal lights and all that. And as you can see, it's pretty messed up with corrosion. Let's take a look at the panel. I removed the panel. There are 4 screws that hold this in place, and they're on the back of this. And what I'm trying to do is get this to dry out. Then I got to get in and clean all this stuff out. This glass has a rubber seal on it, and it's worthless. Apparently what's happening, the water is not really coming through the thing when it rains. What's happening is this thing is breathing in moisture at night, condensing. This had quite a bit of water in it. I'm getting ready to wash it out, but I wanted to take a picture of what it looked like before I did that. This is drying out nicely. These pins are somewhat corroded. They're going to need to be cleaned. And yeah, it's going to need to dry out for a little bit. But I wanted you to see this. I'm going to come back. I'm going to silicone this when I put it back in. Put a silicone bead in here and then put the glass in. And hopefully that will take care of the problem with it breathing. And I may also put a weep hole in the back of this so that it can't build up moisture like it was and it will drain out. Again, not real happy with this. This part of the quality of the Kubota needs drastic overhaul. I'll be putting it back together. I'm not going to film all that because you can figure it out yourself. If you notice, one of the pins is broken, and that's down in the socket of the other thing. The one that I showed you first. That pin right there is broken. That is a problem. Not sure if that can be repaired. Just flat don't know if it can be repaired. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. We'll find out. Dysfunctional vet. I am not real thrilled with my Kubota right now. Let me show you what the deal is. I had moisture buildup in here, so I took this off. I took the back off. There's 4 screws in here. It was full of water. The water had gotten on these pins and corroded them. And if you look right there, let me zoom in on this real good. If you look, you'll notice I'm missing a pin. With that pin missing, the Kubota will not start. That purple piece will come off, and then you can remove the pin. Let me show you that real quick. I've removed the purple piece. I didn't film that, but I'll show you the actual removal of the pin itself, the one that's broken off inside the connector. By the way, that's a Delphi connector. I'm going to put the number on the screen. I found places to buy it on eBay, and every single page was disabled. Isn't that life? But I don't need a new Delphi connector. I think I can repair this one. So let's take a look at that. Using a very small tweaker, I just reached in and I popped this off of this where you saw that other photograph. This is the pin that broke off and is stuck inside. I'm going to use a Webster needle driver and try to remove that. This is a Webster needle driver. It's a 6-inch, and it's atraumatic. It has no grooves down inside there. You can buy these on Amazon and other places. You can get them from surgical supply houses, but they're going to cost you a fortune because they're the actual real live deal. I'm pulling more than the pin. pin is down in there and I can see it, but this is the actual connector right here. So let's see if I can get a hold of that pin and get it out. I'm going to have to go get a sewing needle to try to lift up on it. Alright, so I can see the thing back in there. I'm using a very small needle. Trying to manipulate it. Not having a lot of success. It's trying to lift up, but it's also falling back in there because I think it's completely disintegrated. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to pull this one completely out and see what we can do with it. We got to put this needle somewhere so I don't stab myself with it. I removed this purple bottom piece, and then there's a flange in here you pick up on, and now I've got the terminal out where I can reach and get that little offending pin out, I hope. In fact, that little offending pin doesn't even appear to be in there. But I've got to be sure. I'm going to clean this up with a rag with some vinegar and then some water. As soon as I make sure that that's clear in there, that there's nothing in there that will hang it up. Well, it sure looks like there's a pin in there. I'll go get my little thin needle or a broom straw or something and run it through there and make sure it's clear. I'll clean it up with some vinegar. And by George, I pulled the wrong one. Let's get this one out. Let's get this popped out of the way. Let's pull. Got it back in. Let's get this back out. Not going anywhere with this in the way. Let's see if we can pull it out. Alright, I put the screwdriver against it and I pushed down and it came right out. There is the offending deal, and it's in pretty bad shape. I don't know if I can repair this or not. I'm going to have to try to clean this up and get it back in there. Boy, does that look bad. Well, let's get some vinegar and clean it up, and I'll show you the end result once I'm ready to put it back together. Well, as you can see, it broke off, so that's now another problem. That creates a new problem. Dysfunctional vet out.